Hello and welcome to your Blender journey. So this is where we're going to be downloading Blender. So if you don't know what Blender is, which you probably don't, Blender is a 3D modeling tool. No, not just modeling, it's a 3D tool actually. You can do 3D modeling, 3D animation, 3D editing, 3D shading, and everything you can think of 3D. So how Blender works is, we're going to get into that actually. But first, why would you even use 3D? To make 3D movies? Great. But is there anything else? I mean, you can export to game engines, right? You can 3D print if you have a 3D printer. And you can just admire the model. Look at your image and just admire what you made. It's really cool. So, let's get Blender. So Blender is completely free and open source. That means you can just go to the Blender website and open Blender up. So if we open up Chrome and we search up Blender, right? B-L-E-N-D-E-R. Great. So we have blender.org, home of the Blender project. We'll just go to the download tab. Great. Click on download Blender. Click on your operating system. Great, good for you. You're going to download Blender 2.90.1 or the newest version at the time, if you're watching this later, and just open Blender up. So I have Blender open. Close. I'm going to open up Blender. There we go. Great. So you're going to get a startup menu, like you want to use left click or right click. Fill all that out. And now you're going to come over here. You're going to have this weird splash, it's called splash screen. And you won't have recent files because obviously you probably haven't done anything if you're a beginner. And let's just open up a general file. Okay, or you can just click away because we're already in the general file. So general, and we're in here. And now, how do we move? How do we move around in Blender? If I do, I'm stuck on this cube and I don't like it. So if we see this, Blender isn't letting us move. Why not? Well, the way you move in Blender is there's 3 ways to move. There is orbit, there is panning the view, and there is zooming in and out. Now, first, what I think is the most essential is orbit. And the way you do orbit is, if you have a middle mouse, a 3-button mouse, hold down on your middle mouse button and start just moving your mouse. Now get comfortable with this and just moving around Blender and yeah, just doing that. Now zooming, which you just saw me do, like this. I'm just too used to zooming, so yeah. So zooming, right? What are we gonna do with zooming? You just scroll on your middle mouse button. Now, if you do not have a 3-button mouse, for orbiting, if you see this circle in the top right corner, it's called a gizmo. It's a funny name, but yeah, it's called a gizmo. If you just click anywhere in this and drag, you essentially get the same effect. That's great. So there, now we can scroll and we can orbit. So now, just before we go any further, I'm gonna turn on this tool, which lets you see all my keys, everything I'm pressing. Great. Now we know how to zoom in and out and orbit. Oh yeah, and if you're using a touchpad, you can, zoom like that. If you just have a left click and right click mouse or just one of those Apple mouse thingies, then you can use this over here to, here, the magnifying glass. Zoom in and out of the view. It's a bit weird, but it works just fine and it's good. Now I'm stuck here. Okay, there we go. and I'm out. Now there's one last way to pan the view. This is a bit more complex than the two other ones. You hold down Shift and then you drag on your middle mouse and just move your mouse. And that's just panning the view. Good. Great. But then again, if you do not have a middle mouse, a 3-button mouse, you should get, it doesn't cost that much. It's pretty good. It works, and it's easy, right? But if you don't, there's always this. Panning the view, you can just click on this and drag, and it will just move you around. Say if you're really far and you just want to get back to your thingy without doing Shift, middle mouse, or panning the view, and you just want to get in focus of it. Now, if you select it, if you have it selected, you can go on your number pad, and this only works with the number pad. You can click on number pad dot, and it will focus you onto this cube that we have. Now, if you do not have a number pad, then there is another way to do this, but it's just easier on the number pad. We can do the same thing. Scroll out, pan out of there. You can go on this top bar, do select, and click on. Select. View. My bad. You got a view, and you do frame selected. See, like number pad dot, frame selected, and boom, it will frame the selected item. So that's great. That's good for you. You know how to navigate around Blender a bit. So now you're gonna look at all these options around here. So we've only touched this. How to move around and just like clicking on your object to select it. Great. Probably I didn't even tell you that. But yeah, that's how you do it. Wow, when will we get to like the modeling and the animation? Like how do you do animation? So first, before we do any of that, like that's advanced. It may not seem advanced, but it is. So if you come into Blender as a newcomer and you don't know anything about it, all you need is that, and you just need to just get comfortable navigating, moving around Blender, getting yourself focused on an object, all that kind of stuff. Great. And you see these top tabs with all these little buttons? They're not going to do much to you. They're kind of useless. They're just really advanced. They're not really useful right now. So you can forget about those. You can forget about this. You can forget about this. You can forget about everything except for this one little thing. And if you just really want to forget about everything, you can click anywhere in this view, which is called the 3D viewport, and you can do Control Space, and that will take out all the other header bars and just leave you with this. Now, if you learn this and you know what you're doing with all those other options, you can go in your 3D viewport, click anywhere, Control Space again to bring all these back if you ever need to use them and if you know how to use them. So yeah, that's great. That's amazing. That's pretty much all we're gonna do for now. We're gonna do some more advanced stuff later though. Thank you for watching this. It was pretty quick, but now you know a few stuff in Blender, just moving around. You can learn a lot more by like watching other videos or asking someone for help. Thank you for watching this.